to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft-related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today, I'd like to talk about elders. I want to talk about being possibly seen as someone's older at this stage of my life. And I want to talk about it from within a magical community and within the context of spirituality. And then because I am a Black American woman, I'm going to talk about it from that perspective as a spiritual person, as a practitioner. So what is this conversation really about? It's about kind of where we stand with the idea of elders in the spiritual capacity, right? Who are your elders? Do you have elders? And then I'm asking myself this question. Do I have elders? And what is an elder to you? Is it just age? Is it wisdom? Is it wisdom with it? Which is another issue in itself. So I'm going to speak from my perspective. So when I think of an elder, I have people around me, spiritually speaking now, who fit that role. I have people in my life that I'm relatively close to that fit that role. We can have dialogue about mysticism, magic, witchcraft, and so forth. And that's a good thing to have people like that. So I do have that. But I wish I had more. I wish I had more. I wish I had more access to, people who were even much older. I'm talking like 75 and up, on that side. I would love to have access to more than one person who I can talk of mysticism, who I can speak of spirituality, not from a Judeo-Christian placement, and obviously witchcraft. I would love that for me. I would love that, but I don't have that. And there's a reason I don't have that. It has everything to do with history and of this country and, Christianity being forced on Black Americans. That's why I don't have elders who can be that for me. So it got me to thinking about my position and me being an elder and me being someone, an elder to someone else. Because right now, if you're 24 years, I know I'm your elder because, I done went to level 50. So now when you reach this level, you're automatically an elder. So I'm now an elder, but I have elders, obviously. My mom, just from my grandmother is still very much alive. She's 89 years old. That is like my elder for real. Big elder status right there. But yeah, I realize I'm definitely in the status of elder, and I can give my sage wisdom. And it does, when I think about it like that, it makes me sit up a little straighter. It makes me want to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row when I'm sharing information, especially here. It makes me think about how I am presenting the information that I know. And, it makes me care a little bit more. You know what I mean? I'm more in tune with the messages that I'm sending out specifically here on this channel. And when I speak to people in person, I want, especially people who are being influenced by me and the things that I'm saying. And I know that they're putting me in an elder status. So I don't shy away from it. I don't have an issue with my age. I'm not going through that. I don't have that. The alternative is death. So if I didn't get to hear, if I wanted to stay forever 30, I would be dead. So that's the alternative. I'm also not obsessed with, the whole, you don't look your age, or you do look your age, or you look older than what you are. Yeah, I don't get it. I'm past, gratefully, I am past that. And I realize that's all subjective anyway. If you are a 30-year-old, if you're a 20-something-year-old, it makes me sit up straighter if you're coming to me. If you're someone who considers me your elder, I want to present in a way that you feel comfortable learning from me. Doesn't mean I'm not being myself. Of course, I'm me. Fascinating to see how I know I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that where I'm sitting right now. I don't have that for me. And I don't like that. I don't like that I don't have enough people like that who's doing that for me. If I was still in a Judeo-Christian belief system, this is something that is easily rectified because you have church elders. You're going to find some older people and they all in. But that's not my bag. That's not what I'm into. And I don't want that. Now, on the other side of it, being a Black American woman, it's really tough because there is this whole other practice. There's just hoodoo practices as well. And then there's the practice of, ATRs, right? So, and people who have been initiated, and I would be able to find elders if I were to take that route for sure. I know I would. But I don't feel called to do that. Now, I say all that to say, let's get into the other side of things. The problem with existing elders in the witchcraft community. So for me, I always have to go through the throes of racism as I manage. So there's one for me. I don't know about you. For me, there's a hurdle initially I have to get over is the racism thing. I need to know where are you? What have you rectified? Like, are you good? Like, where are you with your racism? Because that's a very real thing. I've had those experiences in real life, not just over like online or something like that. In this witchcraft community, going out to, you go to this event, this meetup or stuff like that. And, I show up and I'm not being accepted. No one's being outright mean or saying, like, they're not calling me the N-word or something like that. But it's the standoffish, the niceness, but you're not kind. You're just being nice. And you're being othered because no one's talking to you. So you don't feel very welcomed. And when they do talk to you, it is to constantly keep pointing out differences instead of the subject matter that we're even here for. The commonality is to point out the difference that, yeah, I know I'm Black. I know I have more melanin in my skin. I know my hair texture is different. I know my voice has a deeper register, right? I know that. You know that. Why do we have to keep finding new differences when we talk? Now, once we get past that, do you know what you're talking about? Do you have a solid foundation on any of this for me to consult to you as an elder? And, and I understand with younger people, younger adults, I understand they're having this issue right now where they don't see elders as some people to be put up on a pedestal or to be revered so much because they are struggling with the lack of knowledge that the elders have and what knowledge they do have. Like some of them are gatekeeping it. The other ones, I don't think they really know, and they know what they know and they're not trying to know anything more. I'm seeing that. And or there's this low key like a bullying type situation, like, oh, well, you're young, you're just a baby witch and you don't know anything, that type thing. I'm seeing that type of thing play out. So I can understand, well, shoot, no one's passing this information down and no one's really trying to help me. I can't connect with anybody because they're coming with this other energy. I don't want to deal with this. I'm better than you just because I am older, even though this young person might be studying a lot more than this older person has ever studied about this subject matter at any point in their life. Y'all know what I mean. Maybe you can respect the younger person a little bit. Just because they've been so tenacious at this subject matter, you have the experience, but they have the study and they can offer something to the conversation. If you're an elder, first of all, as a witch, you're always learning anyway. Well, as people, we should be always learning, but as a witch, you're always learning. There's always going to be more knowledge, more things for you to learn and to put into practice. So it's okay to learn from someone young, but keeping this rigid attitude, keeping this being a gatekeeper to knowledge, um, assuming your way is the only way, and only you and the witches do it the right way, and then, you're just so done with these younger people coming in trying to do it their way. They're doing it wrong with that sort of attitude. We're not setting because we are not setting. We are not presenting as we should. Now, some things are worth the criticism. So what I feel like as an elder, I always want to tell people about practicing magic, especially someone who's really, even if you've been doing it, but you feel like maybe you haven't had a lot of success and you weren't doing it correctly, and you just, you come to me, you're talking to me. Um, I like to really kind of get into the beginning stages of it. Just we're talking about just practicing magic. Like, what do you think is going to happen when you practice magic? Like, what? So if this spell works, what will it look like? And if it's just a feeling, describe the feeling. Because not everybody's good with the whole big picture thing. I know that, but I want you to get to talking about it and really see it through. And let's spend time there. I want you to start falling in love with the outcome, and really, romanticize it if you need to. Whatever it takes for you to start to visually see yourself, whatever this thing is that you're intending for this magic to do for you. So when I talk about living a magical lifestyle, this is the thing. I want you to daydream out loud with me. I want you to tell me how you want it to be. How do you want to feel? What is it going to be like when you do? What's this person going to say? I want you to see it through. Because once you start to truly see it through, and it becomes something more tangible, it becomes something real, you might be able to grab onto this. That's when we're cooking over here. That's when we can get started on this spell work. That's when we get started on this magical life. Because now you're engaged. I know how to do this because I've been doing this. Yes, I've been reading about it. I've written about it. I've talked about it. But I do it. And I've repeatedly did it. And I've helped others to do it. So that's the difference between this person giving you high-level information, saying the right buzzwords, wearing the outfits, and me over here, who, yeah, I can wear the outfits too, because the outfits are fun, so we're the same on that. But I know though that there's the experience. I've just lived long enough to acquire not only the skills, the knowledge, but the application of said skills and knowledge. That's the difference. So with elders, hopefully, if you find the right one that you can get sage counsel from, in whatever capacity that is, whether it's just like sending a question to, nothing too crazy. I accept emails, by the way. It's mika@leaptaken.com. If I feel that it's a little bit more than, what can be addressed in an email, then I would suggest a service. And I don't come right off the gate with the mentorship program, although I know most people need to be there. But we can just do a simple reading and ritual, something to walk away from, because especially if I think it's like more spell work related, we can talk that out. There's the Ask a Witch service that I offer as well, which is relatively inexpensive, where we can talk all that kind of stuff out. But anyway, yeah, I accept that because I know what that's like. Now, back to the black lady thing. So me being a black lady, one thing I'm realizing when I just canvas through YouTube, I just don't see enough of me. I don't see someone, there are witches who are 50 and up, or even 40 and up out here, but I don't see enough of us over that age who are black. Right off the top of my head, Two. There's two I know. Well, I know the one is, I don't know their age, but they look like they're at least 40. I don't know. And the other one I know is like in her early 50s because she said it. She looks darn good too. So I know those two, and I've recently discovered the second, but I don't really know many black witches, not astrologers, because there's a lot of that I see, which I love that too. I love that for us. Being, black astrologers, awesome. Or if you're a tarot reader, awesome. You could be a tarot reader, but maybe you don't refer to yourself as a witch. Those are not necessarily the same thing. I'm talking about being an actual practicing witch. I don't see a lot of that. Black, American, over 40. It's not a lot. So I feel like I'm in a position where I am representing myself and those two other people. I feel like it's such a small pool here. And if there are more, please let me know. Just for me to follow them, I want to give them that. I want to follow them. I want to look at their content as well. So if you know, let me know in the comments. But let me tell you something. It amazes me at where we are. And I know why, but I feel like enough of us have broken away from the spell of colonization and slavery over these years, even from like my mother's generation. Enough broke away, and some of them kept it going. They never got pulled back into some church situation or pulled into becoming a Muslim or something like, they just kept going with their sort of occult pagan ways. And those type of people are out there. I know they may not be on YouTube or TikTok. I get that, but I know they're out there, and it is tough because they're not maybe on TikTok or on YouTube. So you can't get access. That's how I feel. Like, where are those boomer moms who were kind of hippy dippy and they just stayed hippy dippy? Like, where are they? I want to follow you. I want to hear what you have to say, black or white in this case, because I feel like I'm at a losing battle if you're black. But oh my God, if you're a black lady, oh my God, please, where are you? Find me. I'll find you. Because we have a unique perspective. That's why it does matter about being Black American. To be Black American, we have our own culture. It's separate from the American culture. We kind of live in both worlds. So that's why I'm harping on the Black. It does matter. It's not just a color, it's a culture. So that's what that's about. But the other thing I just want to kind of point out about this discussion and how, I didn't write anything down, so sorry if I'm a little all over the place, but I wanted to share this now. I feel like we don't have enough elders, and I'm concerned about the people who are becoming elders. I'm concerned about the group, me, and how we may be presenting. I am part of a generation who, we don't want to grow up. We didn't want to grow up. Like, our outside shows look like we grew up, but a lot of us are just big kids at heart. We're very sarcastic, most people of my generation. And we're quick to walk away from some stuff that just seem like it's BS. Like, we're like, you know what? I'm out. I'm not dealing with this. Like, a lot of us are like that. So I don't know how that presents as elders. I just got here, so I don't know. But I do think for some that might be, not as welcoming. For some of the younger adults, maybe they don't find that as welcoming. So I definitely want to address that within me so that I don't appear that way. I don't come off that way. I'm really, I'm a very welcoming person. But I don't deal with the BS. I really don't. And what's BS? BS is you lying to me. BS is you trying to test me. For you trying to test me to see if I really know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't, come on. Either we're talking or we having, what's happening right now? Are we having a conversation? Are you here, for counsel, or are you here just to show me up? What are we trying to do? By the way, that does happen. So I'm not just coming out of nowhere with that. I'm concerned about the witchcraft community and the lack of elders. Once you start getting into some of our subgroups, like if you're a Black person, if you're a Black witch, having elders, and it's good to have elders. Let me tell you something. And I understand it's hard to trust people. I understand all of those things. And as someone who's looking for more elders in my life, spiritually speaking, yeah, it is hard because sometimes these people don't know what they're talking about. Like they've lived long. I get it. I know there are people who've been walking around. It's like, you still don't know? Like, you've been on this planet all these years and you still don't know? Okay, cool. And that's, again, people kind of know what they know. That's why I can't be limited by, just one thing. Oh, I work folk magic and that's it. No, I work folk magic. I work high magic. I do ceremonial magic. I do a lot of different things, as a cottage witch, but I have a central foundation, but I can always kind of step away from that and explore and experiment. But I always have my central foundation. I don't just present as this type and that's it and that's enough, because it's not enough. It wouldn't be enough. Not for me. It wouldn't be enough. So that's that. But yeah, I just, wanted to share my thoughts on this elder concept and kind of being fair because, I have elders and I would like to have more to have access to. In the same issue I'm having, I understand it's going to be the same issue somebody in their 20s or 30s is having, talking about an elder in a spiritual community and a witchcraft community, because I'm starting to see the problems. And my solution is to be the elder I want for myself to someone else. I want to be the change. So that's basically how I'm going to end this. I am the change. I am the elder that I always wanted. I did the same thing with motherhood. There were things that I wished my mom was more like, but my mom had me, she was pretty young and she was still growing. So there was going to be some deficits there because she just wasn't there yet, right? And when I became a mother, I wanted to do all those things I sort of wish my mom would have done and more, And by the way, my mother attempted to do the very thing with me. And, we're all just trying to be better. And what she, as best as she could, as a very, very young woman, she attempted to do that with me. So I do respect that. And I wanted to, up the ante a little bit more with mine and do even more and be that mom to them. And that worked out pretty good because they told me. They've actually told me this. So that, yeah, they like me as a mom. They like me still, not just from when they were little kids. They still like talking to me. They still reach out to me, not just as a mom, but as Mika, a person who just happens to also be their mom. And that's always the highest honor as well for me. So I'm going to approach this phase that I'm in now of being an elder. And I respect it. I come with respect. And I want to be the elder I wish I had. And I wish I still had. Yeah. So if you are sitting in my position, meaning you are in this stage of your life as well, start thinking about that, especially if you have access to other witches who are younger than you. They may not say it, but they kind of look up to you. Be mindful of how you're presenting, the energy that you're bringing with them as well. And it doesn't mean like better than or putting them down or telling them what to do. That's not what I mean. I just mean just be mindful of your energy and how you're presenting, because they do think you do have something together. You managed this far. You must know something. So just be careful when you're talking to them, because they might be taking your words a little more literal than they would anybody else. That's what I'm saying. All right, so I'll end it here. All right. Thank you for staying this long in my this is how I just think. I thought it out as I spoke. So hopefully it all made sense. And I appreciate you for watching this point to this point of the video. And again, I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. If you've enjoyed this, go ahead and like the video. If you have not already subscribed, consider hitting that join button to join a Leap Taken membership here on YouTube. It's essentially a Patreon here on YouTube. It is supportive of the channel, aka me, and it helps me to continue to do content. And you get special content as a member, by the way. So that's super helpful, and perks. Also, go to my website, leaptaken.com. You can check out the services that I offer there as well. And as always, thanks again for watching. Bye.